What's up, everybody? It is Ted here. Time for me to get into the second episode of Tad Talks. This time around, I'm going to be talking about failed and unpopular video game systems. Oh, and before I get started, I'm going to do the videos in 10-minute increments and edit them all together before I upload them, because that way my camera don't fuck up on me and be a bitch. But anyway, let's get right into this. Now, I gotta go ahead and say my favorite unpopular in the US, popular in like the UK and Brazil. One of my all-time favorite video game systems, the Sega Master System. And I'm partial to the Master System because it was the first system I ever bought with my own money. I was like 9 years old, and I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Charter Hospital, but it's not really a mental institution. It's more of like, I don't know, kind of like a group home, except it's all in one building. It's more of a rehabilitation thing, I guess, but I don't know. I had to go there for a while because when I was a kid, I kind of started freaking out. I don't know. I blocked most of that shit away. But one thing I do remember, they made you take this test when you were there, where you had to stay up all night so you'd be asleep for them to run these tests. Well, it was me and one other person that stayed up, and the only video game system this place had was a Sega Master System. First Master System game I've ever played, and still to my day, one of my favorites, is Penguin Land. There's no fucking puzzle game out there that's really similar to Penguin Land. You are a space penguin, and you have to get your eggs down to the bottom of the level while not dropping it too far and avoiding those pesky fucking polar bears. Those polar bears were assholes. But Penguin Land was the shit, and I did that test. It is funny. I actually, during the test, I couldn't fall asleep, and they said, fuck it, we'll do it anyway. But it was like an EKG or some dumb shit. I don't fucking know, but that was my first experience with the Master System, and people would be sending me mail, relatives, people from church, shit like that, sending me money here and there. And I saved that money up, and I wound up saving about I think it was like $80. And that was just enough to go to Toys R Us and get a Sega Master System. The system was $80. My parents, they had just released me, so they bought me 3 games, I believe. Those games were Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Excellent fucking game. Sega, if you're seeing this, bring back fucking Wonder Boy, I'm telling you. And Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, that game was the shit. And the Genesis game, I really didn't like the Genesis version as much as I did the Master System version, but I'm probably just biased. But anyway, also, Michael Jackson's fucking Moonwalker. And ever since then, I've never been able to get a hold of that game again. And that's another one. I actually enjoyed it more on the Master System than I did the Genesis. But, yeah, the Master System. Sega was like the king of underrated video game systems. The Genesis, yeah, everybody loved the Genesis, but everything else other than that, in the US, the Dreamcast was the coolest thing out there then, but I don't know, I guess eventually the PS2 kind of killed it because they were getting all the third-party titles or some shit. I don't really know what the end of the Dreamcast was, but I had heard it failed in Japan, so they discontinued it everywhere, and then it was actually doing really good in America, but I don't know how true that is, but The Dreamcast was fucking amazing, man. How can you not love fucking Shenmue or some fucking Gunbird or fucking Illbleed? Oh shit! I actually fucking loved Blue Stinger. Everybody hated that game, but I was like, man, this is alright. I enjoyed it. I thought the story was interesting. Gameplay kind of sucked a little bit. But, yeah, you know, the thing with the Saturn is, what I really think fucking fucked Sega up is the lack of first-party titles on the Saturn. There was no true Sonic game. There's been one for every system before and after that, but you had shit like Sonic R, which I actually enjoyed Sonic R. It was a cool racing game to me at the time because I'd never played one that was on foot, and there's very few of those out there. But the Saturn, I don't know, I just feel like they didn't do enough to compete. They had some great games, but most of the best ones were coming out right when the Saturn died, like Panzer Dragoon Saga and Magic Knight Rayearth. It just, I don't know what happened with the Saturn, but it was a cool system. You know, graphically the PlayStation was probably a little bit better because the Saturn always had this fucked up pixelated thing going on, I think. Except for like more like shit like Clockwork Knight and Bug, that shit looked great. But shit like the Shining games on fucking Saturn, like fucking, what was it, Shining the Holy Ark, man, the graphics on that thing, they just needed refined, you know. There was a lot of fun. I don't really know what the word I'm looking for. Overly pixelated, I think, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I think that will conclude the first 10-minute segment of this episode of Tad Talks. I'm going to go ahead up and put this one on my computer and start with the second part. Might not quite be done with Sega talk yet. I mean, you can't talk about failed video game systems without mentioning Sega, because they had some of the most innovative shit, but it just never went over. And it's fucked up. Like there would be no fucking PlayStation if it wasn't for Sega CD and the TurboGrafx CD, you know. But anyway, second segment coming up, B-Hotch. Alrighty. Part 2 of episode 2. Failed unpopular game systems. But anyway, I was talking about Sega, and let's see, what do I cover here? Let me go ahead and talk about the Sega CD for a minute. Now, me personally, I don't know what it is, but I actually loved a bunch of those crappy fucking FMV games. I don't know, I've always kind of been partial to unpopular fucking video game shit. Like, I never felt the Master System got a shine, or the Saturn, or the Dreamcast. But, the Sega CD, you know, it actually had some really good games, but those fucking FMV games are really what killed it. But I loved some of them, like fucking Night Trap, and fucking Prize Fighter. Somebody's giving away Prize Fighter in the freebie forum for anybody who likes Sega CD. Wow. Sorry. Had a brain fart there. But anyway, yeah, Prize Fighter. My favorite fucking FMV game on Sega CD was fucking Time Gal. Have you never played Time Gal? It was like this fucking... It was like the first QuickTime Events game. Or, I don't know if it was the first, but you see that QuickTime event shit going on nowadays, and Time Gal was the first game I ever played with it in it. But it was really cool. It was all anime style, animated, and it actually had a pretty decent story, and I don't think I ever wound up beating that game, actually. Which is sad, because it wasn't really a hard game. I just don't have the quickest thumbs in the galaxy. Unless it's up somebody's butt. But anyway, let's see, what other? Oh, Corpse Killer! Corpse Killer was the fucking shit. That stereotypical fucking Jamaican guy that was on there. Oh man, he slayed me. Man, I wish I still had a Sega CD. Damn, that had some fucking crazy shit on it. But it wasn't all FMV games. You know, you had the Lunar games, which were like the best shit on the system. Oh, and Popful Mail. Popful Mail was the shit. That is one of the most fun fucking action RPG platformer type games I've ever played. And the cutscenes on that game were fucking great. You know, I don't know. It seems like with the Sega things, the Sega systems, people, I don't know. They just, I don't know. I guess they just kind of tried to do a little bit of everything, try to be different. And some shit worked great, some shit didn't. But that was the cool thing about Sega. They weren't afraid to try something new. And, you know, it had quite a few flops, but for the most part, I don't think the world was ready for a lot of that shit. Sega really innovated a lot. And I think some of it was just bad timing. Like, you know, one of the things that I think really got Sega was fucking Nintendo, you know, NES, Super Nintendo, those were the shit. You know, hard to compete with that. And then when the PlayStation come out, has so many games, it was, you know, graphically superior at the time, and I just think, you know, Sega just got kind of fucking outbeat by their competition. That's really all there is to it, because there's a lot of diehard Sega fans out there, and I'm fucking one of them. And yes, I pray every night that Sega's just going to shock the world and say, fuck it, we're back in, Dreamcast 2 coming 2017. You know, that'd be the shit. I would probably cum my pants in excitement if that actually happened. But anyway, let me get on to something else. I've gone on about Sega for quite a while. Worst of the worst, I think, probably goes to the Jaguar. Yo, fucking Cybermorph. Oh, you derelict piece of shit. Graphically, I thought it was kind of neat. I liked the graphics of it, but the game was just complete fucking donkey doo-doo. I don't know what the fuck Jaguar was thinking. And what the fuck was with that fucking 30-button fucking controller the Jaguar had? I don't know if actually any of those games actually used the fucking all those buttons. And if they did, they just probably started making shit up after a while. You know, oh, use this button to turn left for no fucking reason. Even though you can do it with the D-pad, do it with this fucking button number 295B. And I don't even know why they released the Jaguar CD. The system was already fucked. They're like, hey, you know what you guys want? Same old bullshit on a CD! Yay! The Jaguar, it just didn't work. I don't even know if Atari's still around. They used to still make games, but I don't know if they're still doing it. What was cool was when Atari started rebooting all those games for the PlayStation and Dreamcast and shit. Like Centipede, Pong, Cubert, shit like that. I thought those were cool. But, yeah, Atari kind of, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Fucked up, the Jaguar was the first 64-bit system. That's fucking ridiculous. And Nintendo's like, hey, Atari, remember how we killed you back then? Well, we can kill you when you're zombies too. Ah, fucking Atari. But yeah, I don't know. There was a couple games like the Robotron and the Tempest games were cool. Everybody always says Aliens versus Predator was a good game on that, but I never liked it. It was kind of lame. I don't feel like there was enough enemies, really. And also, I liked the Iron Soldier games. Those were alright. They weren't spectacular, but they were decent. And of course, there was the CDI. You know, I traded a guy a bunch of shit for one of those one time, and I got it, and it worked for about 3 hours and fucking wouldn't read discs anymore. I was so pissed. Same shit happened to me when I got a 3DO. That might be a reason that those two fucking failed. Plus, I don't know, 3DO had some cool games. But CDI really didn't. Like, the claims to fame for CDI was those fucking Zelda ripoffs and fucking Hotel Mario or whatever it was. But I actually, my 3DO died on me in about 2 weeks. And it sucks. I've always wanted one again, because I actually like that. That Hell game, I was like 5 hours into it, and the fucking system died. But I'll definitely be getting a 3DO and a CDI again sometime, if I can. If I can afford it and really quit spending money on fucking Master System games. Like, hold on. Let me give you guys just a little bit of a treatsy here before I end segment 2. Master System collections so far. We got some Carmen Sandiego, some Penguin Land, some Parlor Games, Shinobi Space Area, Wonder Boy, Global Gladiators. That's right, McDonald's. I'm loving it. Oh shit, Choplifter. All right, y'all. All right, segment 3 coming just in a moment. Say hi, Sally. Sally. What you doing, baby? Nicholas? What you doing, Nicky boy? What's up, Nicky? Alright, I guess my dogs are joining me here for the last part of Tad Talks Failed Video Game Systems. Alright, Sally's gonna sit right here beside me. Nicky's gonna chill here and like, pet me, motherfucker. Alright. Anyway, for the last part of this episode, I want to get into the handheld part of things. When I think failed handhelds, the first thing I think of is the Atari Lynx, which I had one. There was a old video rental place here, and they had one for sale back in the 90s. And I bought that. I think we paid $60 for that. They had like 10 games with it. It was pretty cool. Some of those games were alright. Like, what was it? Congo. Was it 108? It was Congo something. You played a fucking crazy monkey. It was great. And Blue Lightning. That was a really good fucking game. It reminded me of like a portable Afterburner. Because I think that was before the fucking Game Gear came out. Actually, now that I think about it, did they even make Afterburner on the Game Gear? I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. Anyway. Blue Lightning was like a portable Afterburner for me. And I always remember thinking fucking the Blue Jet on Blue Lightning is a hell of a lot cooler than the plain looking one on Afterburner. But let's see, the Lynx, yeah, the battery life on it kind of sucked, but not as bad as the fucking Game Gear. God, if you ever get a Game Gear, get an AC adapter, or else you will buy fucking 100 packs of fucking batteries in a month. It's fucking ridiculous. You had to have 6 batteries for the fucking Game Gear, and that lasted you maybe 4 hours. It was fucking retarded. But the Nomad came out, and I don't really know if that qualifies as unpopular, because a lot of people dig that. From what I hear, they worked really well. I never got the chance to get a hold of one, but hey, here's holding out hope. But yeah, I'd like to find a Nomad sometime. And also, there's one cool thing I had. I know I'm bouncing back to Master System again, but in Brazil, Tectoy made a Master System that the system was the controller. Thing that sucked was it was PAL and it wouldn't work on a US system, but I had an old camper TV that thing worked on. And man, it was a little black and white, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inch TVs. I used to play a fucking PAL Master System on it. How many people can say they've done that? But I wish I still had that fucking thing. That thing was fucking cool. Brazil and the UK got the best Master System shit, but I'm getting off track here. Let's see, there's the Lynx, the fucking Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color. That system was fucking awesome. It didn't have a lot of games, but most of the games were badass, like the King of Fighters, the SNK versus Capcom, the what was it, the SNK versus Capcom card game. The Pac-Man and Sonic games were cool on it. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've thought of the Neo Geo Pocket Color. What else was there? Man, I'm drawing a blank. That's sad. I need to get a Neo Geo Pocket Color. Oh, and they had a Evolution on there. That was pretty cool. I don't think it was the Evolution like the ones on the Dreamcast, I think. I think it was in the same series. Remember when you could hook up your Neo Geo Pocket Color to your Dreamcast? You had to get a certain thing for it. I've never actually seen one in person, but that was a cool idea. But another thing that Sega went with, and it never really went anywhere. But yeah, the Neo Geo Pocket Color was really cool. I need to get me one of them again. As far as handhelds, let's see, I don't think I really... I don't know, we can always talk about the Virtual Boy. Virtual Boy, man, I played that thing. I only ever was able to get one game for it, and that was Mario Tennis, because it came with it. And that was a fun-ass game. Mario Tennis was a great game, but you play that shit for about an hour, you take your head off the fucking goggles, and everything is red. Everything. Oh, man, that thing was like a Tiger handheld on crack. Yeah, the Virtual Boy was it would have been cool. It was cool. It had nice graphics and shit, but that red and fucking black, it was like the first system to come with an epilepsy warning. That was the first sign right there. This probably ain't going to go over so well. That was like the one ballsy thing Nintendo tried that didn't work out. Because you gotta admit, Nintendo, up until like the Wii U, I don't know, the Wii went over really well, but the Wii U, if I did this video from 5 years from now, it'd probably be talking about the Wii U. Because nobody fucking... Alright, here was the first sign that the Wii U was going to suck. When EA decided not to release Madden or any of their other games on the Wii U. That was like a nail in the coffin before they ever built a coffin. I don't know. I apologize to any Wii U fans. I've never actually played one. It doesn't seem like it's going over very well. 3DS, on the other hand, that shit seems like it's going great. That's the thing with me, though. I'm an old school guy. I don't fuck around with current gen or even last gen shit much. I got a 360, but I never use it. But I used it for a while. There's a lot of good games on 360. Most of the gaming I do anymore is on fucking the computer anyway, between Steam to Shure and all that shit. But digital gaming is a whole nother episode. But alright, y'all, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you again for tuning into the second episode of Tad Talks. Hope you all enjoyed it. Till next time, take her easy.